Hello, my name's David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. Owing to a microphone malfunction, we pick up the action 2 minutes into the game. I've bingoed with unhairs, and I'm sitting with a fabulous rack. This is my rack. I've got both blanks. I've got dilatant through either A on the board, and untitled through the eye of unhairs. Great, dilatant stays available. I think Swagers is wrong, is a phony. It's not, it's good. Okay. There may be other bingos through this A which are also double doubles, but I don't think it's a good use of time trying to find them. Dilatant 78. Pretty good. Must be close to a bingo. Vamoosed through a V. The V of evades, not good. I can't see a 7-letter bingo with this rack, but there are quite a few floaters to consider. Just looking at the floaters in unhairs. Haven't seen anything yet. Quite a few of them look promising, the N and the H. Pretty much any consonant looks good with this rack. But it's possible there is no bingo here. And no floaters provided by my opponent. Now I've got a good lead, but I certainly wouldn't want to miss a bingo if there's one available. Having said that, I have not seen one. I'm just considering the 2-letter pairs in rows C and D, NO and HE, in case I have a bingo. Moose head might be good, but doesn't fit. I'm surprised no candidate bingos have come to mind. So, how to resolve this rack? Well, I think I need to play off the M for score and both O's, and I can do that down here for a good score and a good rack leave. 24 points. I draw the Z, which is a good scoring tile. I note that Ho takes an S in front, so I could play Seized in row A. That stays available. I can't see a bingo with this rack. Seized does burn the S. Is there something better I can do with my Z? I don't think so. There's no obvious great spots for the Z. I could play Teased in column 11. 32 points, but I think Seized across here is going to score a lot more. I like turning over tiles when I've got this big lead because it expedites the end of the game and increases my chances of drawing. Well, I was going to say the blanks, but I've played both of them. 58 points, certainly a lot better than the teased score. Wow, great pickup. That looks pretty good. Mo tiles is good. Can't see anywhere for that. Dilatant takes an S after it. Melodist is a bingo with the D, but none of the D's work. Mistletoe is good. Now, does that play in column 11? Not quite. HEI isn't good. I'm wondering if mistletoe has an anagram. Well, this rack looks excellent. Through an O, I would have toilsome. Now, what are the floaters? I've got the R of swagers. So is there an anagram with this rack plus an R? Well, that looks an excellent set of tiles, but I can't see the bingo. Ah, I thought for a moment I had Am I Trolls in row J, but I don't. 15 minutes on the clock. I'm looking at the pairs of letters in rows J, K, and L. In case I have a 9-letter bingo, which would be fun. Wow, how frustrating. Now, what about Motley's? Mottlies. That plays as a double-double in column 11. Is that good? Well, if it is, I should know it, but I have some doubt. And I don't want to play a phony. And I certainly don't want to miss a 7-letter bingo with this rack. Lint takes an S after it, so a 7 could play. Lomius through an A. I'm just considering each tile in my rack as the initial letter of a bingo. Sometimes that can prompt the bingo. Well, maybe I haven't got my Scrabble head on tonight, but I can't see a 7-letter bingo with this rack. Well, it's motiles. I've already looked around and not seen a spot for that. So, I'm looking to play off the M and the O and possibly the L, but not necessarily. So I could play Mo and XO. 18 points, that's pretty good. Is there somewhere better for the M? So that's 18 points. What about a double-double which isn't a bingo? Well, I think I spent long enough on this play. Not good. B and the K not particularly bingo-y, certainly not together. But they are at least scoring tiles. I'm looking in column 11 to see if I can play through the T of lint. But only my T goes after HE. Keb is good. So I could play that in row C simply to leave a good rack leave, which is worth doing. EILST is quite bingo-y, and 5-letter rack leaves are pretty good because you're only drawing 2 tiles, so there's a high probability of having a bingo. I have not seen a bingo with this rack, but I don't think there is one. Ah, well, through an A, I would have bulkiest. So I need to pay attention should my opponent play one of those. There are 5 still to be played. Keb in row C only scores 9 points, which is pretty pathetic. I could get 10 for Knob further on in row C. Which is still available. Nothing provided by my opponent apart from the S hook for chin, and I've got the S. So can I play my K with the S? I don't think I can play the K and the B. Can't see such a play. So this is my move, and well, let me play it down here. This is going to score a lot more. 17 points. Another good rack. 44 points for my opponent, which Keb would have blocked in the original spot. Now, I can't see a bingo here, although this is nice looking. Very few floaters to consider. There's the R of Swagers, and there's the T of Lint. I've got MI in column 13, and there's the J of Juve. And I'm looking to see if I can reach the triple word square with that J. Can't see a way of doing that. I've got a 40-point lead at the moment, which is fairly slender. Now, where can I play my Y? Well, I could play Styly in column 15. £40, I think does justify playing it. I can't see anywhere to get 30 for the Y. I could get 3 more by playing an E on the end of this, but I think the E is worth more than 3 points, or about 3 points. And there's only 4 E's left. Another good rack. Can't see a 7. I'm looking at the R of Swagers and the T of Lint. Ah, well, I've got Annoyer on my rack, and that plays in column 14, making AI. Fantastic. I can't see anywhere else for it to play. Ah, my opponent's blocked it. How irksome. Except he's now provided a new place for it. Fantastic. Burr takes an R hook. £76 points. And another okay rack. Well, I'm drawing well tonight. There isn't a bingo that I can immediately see with this rack, but it's balanced and fairly bingo-y. I've got Juliet in column 1, 39 points. And I could play Audit in column 8. At the bottom, through the A of Annoyer. I certainly want to play off the U and one of the I's. 19 tiles in the bag. I'm looking in column 1 to see if there's something better than Juliet. My opponent challenges Annoyer. He loses 5 points. He's now 150 points behind. Fantastic. I wonder how he got so much behind. Right. Juice, that takes some 3-letter front extensions. Juice is good, and the tiles for that are in the unseen tiles. My Juliet spot has been blocked. Audit is still available. That is providing floaters for my opponent, but the remaining tiles are not bingo-y. There are some bingos amongst them, but it's not a bingo-y selection, so providing a floater or a couple of floaters isn't a disaster. So, is Audit best? I'm looking in row E to see if I can put my I under the Q. But I can't see a way of doing that to good effect. Audit's nice because it plays off 4 tiles. So, expedites the end of the game. 21 points. pretty good. Having said the remaining tiles aren't particularly bingo-y, this, again, looks quite a bingo-y rack. Only really the floaters that I've provided in audit to consider, and I can't see a bingo through any of those. I've got the C for score, but I'm slightly vowel heavy. I'm looking at the remaining vowels, 18 tiles in the bag, and on my opponent's rack. 8 of them vowels, so it's a consonant-heavy bag. Good score for my opponent. He's now 101 points behind. Log juice is also good, and I've got LO, so it might be worth hanging on to LO in case I draw a G. So the C doesn't feature in a front extension for juice, and it's a scoring tile, so where can I play my C? I've got 8 minutes left. C does go under MI, but I don't have a something IC play. I'm looking to see if I can use the Y for score in addition to the C. Can't see a way of doing that. So I'm looking around for anywhere else where my C can play. I don't have to play it, but if I only play vowels, I'm not going to score very much. But there are 3 A's left, so what about playing A, E across here? The remaining tiles keep LO for log juice and also go quite well with the T of audit. And the score's quite good and it's not giving very much away. Now, in addition to the log juice possibility, I've also got the verjuice possibility if I draw an R. So I would need to hang on to V, E, L, and O. I'm looking at the T of audit to see if I've got a bingo through that. Can't see one. So if I'm looking to play off just the C, C, A, and I are my candidate tiles. Great. The R and the G are still amongst the unseen tiles. There are 4 tiles in the bag, so I would like to play off A, C, and I. Which I could do. I could play Chow in row A for a pretty dismal score. A, C, I. Where can that play? Well, this is in front of HE is a nice spot for the C. Calais not good. I've got 6 minutes left. I've also got Chow in column 11, again for not many points. But I'm going to win this game. I'm about 100 points ahead. So I think I will play up here. That's not dangerous. Even if my opponent places the F underneath this I, he can't place anything underneath the C. And I'm keeping the tiles for verjuice and log juice. Yes, verjuice. Fantastic. Surely my opponent will not block that. 60 points. I've got overlie on my rack as a 7. Can't see anywhere for that. Now, do I have a bingo through the T? Can't see one. Good, because I want to play Verjuice. Not a great rack for my opponent. Ah, unbelievable. Blocked. Unbelievable. Well, well done to my opponent if he was deliberately blocking Verjuice. How annoying. So, what to do with this rack? I've got 5 minutes. I've got the V for score. My opponent is not going to go out in 1. I'm again considering the T of audit. I certainly don't want to miss a bingo. Well, I can't see one. So, where to play my V? And how to go out in 2. I don't have anything. Well, my L can go after E. Well, this is, I think, going to be a good place to play. So I can play EL here. How can I make that longer? Well, I can play drivel. For 34 points, which is a good score. I'm keeping OE. Do I have 2 places on the board for playing that? I can play core, making law and NE. And I can play though through the V of drivel, so I can certainly go out. I think my opponent was blocking Verjuice. I'm going to credit him with that because I think otherwise he would have played off the FP or W in preference to the tiles that he did play. Now, where can I get the most for OE? I could play it in column 7 for 9 points. Can I get any more than that? Well, the core play will score more. That's 13 points. My opponent has not got a good rack. He's going to struggle to play off his high-scoring tiles. Yeah, just 18 points. And 13 for me. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game. Which he does, and the final score, 352 to my opponent, 485 to me. A winning margin of 133 points, so a massive, massive win, nearly 500 points racked up. I had some great racks. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first, and he played wager. This was my rack. I played unhairs, and that was the only bingo. But since Swager was good, I could have played it in column 3 for a lot more points than I got in column 9, 10 more points. My opponent's rack, and he had sedative and deviates. He missed those and played evades for 33, and this was my rack. I played dilatant in column 5 as a double-double. I didn't spend time looking for a better bingo, and there wasn't one, but there were a large number of available bingos. My opponent's rack, he played Ho, And this was one of several bingo-y racks where I couldn't see a bingo. Stomodia. Wow, tricky one to spot. Through the T of dilatant. Yep, well, 74 points. That was a missed bingo. I played Moo instead. My opponent's got a dreadful rack. He played Lint. And this is my rack. And I played Seized for 58, and that looks best. My opponent's rack, he plays XI. And now this was my Motiles rack. Ugh. Awful miss. Motliest, having wondered about Motleys. I should certainly have spotted Motliest and Lithesome. Harder to see. It's a 9-letter play through HE. But anyway, 2 bingos missed there. My opponent's rack, he plays Chin. And this was my rack, and I played Keb in column 7. Now, I could have got a lot more. M3. Making Mook and Dilatant a play of Bisque, and also there was a play using the K and the Chin hook, Skite for 44. So I think, although many of these plays wreck the rack leave, I think that's worth doing for the points you're getting, as opposed to Keb, which scored less than 20. My opponent's rack, he played Juve, and another good rack for me. Now, there was a J play, Jitney, which retains the S. Instead, I played Styli for 41 and burning the S, so Jitney would have been a better play. My opponent's rack, and then I had Annoyer for 76, so I was pleased to see that. My opponent's rack, he played Juice, and then this was my rack. Oh, wow, look at that. Chuil Yeed in column 12. So the third rack on which I missed a bingo. I played Audit. My opponent's rack. And then this was my rack. And at this point, I started to consider the possibilities for Log Juice, since I had 2 of the 3 tiles. Let me go back and click the plays. So looking down here, I'm looking for plays which keep L and O. So that's way down the bottom with Sell for 21. Well, that's down here, so maybe that would have been worth doing. But I also wanted to play off. Yeah. Okay, I also had in mind bingos through the T, so that's prompted the AE play. My opponent's rack, he plays Op. And Locative. Wow, 4 missed bingos. Okay. That certainly would have been the play on this rack. Instead, I played Chow. My opponent's rack, he blocks Verjuice. And finally, great, I didn't rack up 5 missed bingos, and Drivel was my play. My opponent's rack, he played Far. And finally, Law at 8F. Coming down here rather than across here would have got 2 more points than Core. And that was the end of the game. So, a ton of errors in that game, but I won by a massive margin and scored nearly 500 points. And what that shows is that I was massively lucky in the tiles that I drew. That will happen through randomness. You will have games where you just have great racks, and my opponent had awful racks in that game. It can be easier to find the best move when your racks are awful. When you've got a run of good racks and you've got a massive lead, it can sometimes take the edge off your bingo hunting powers. But 4 missed bingos in a game is a huge number. I don't recall that happening before. So well done if you spotted those bingos. This was a good exercise in bingo spotting. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.